very much. Today's speaker is Christine Shook. She's working on project number 7, which, as Bob mentioned, is the Research Your Topic project. In this project, Christine is challenged with trying to pick a topic that's going to require a little bit more meat to it, something beyond a simple story, something that requires her to do some research. So also with that, she's required to cite her resources, because you hear all sorts of things in speeches where people really don't cite where that actual fact comes from. So we want to make sure that all our facts are well cited, and that we can speak as an expert, at least as a subject matter expert on the topic at hand. She's also challenged using a variety of resources, not just one single research or one single source, which is show that she has a wealth of knowledge, and also to support her points as she makes them. Today's speech will be 5 to 7 minutes, Mr. Timer. And her topic is a very relevant one, especially to me, as I have 2 young boys who like to wake me up frequently. And I notice that they tend to wake me up on the morning before I give a speech in Toastmasters. So it didn't happen this time, because I'm not the main speaker, but it has happened almost seemingly without fail. I find it very interesting. But her speech is on sleep and the importance of sleep. And her speech today is entitled, Take a Nap. So please stay awake and for your full attention, Christine Shook.
Step one, right? Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. By a show of hands, how many of you think that you get enough sleep at night on a regular basis? One person in here. I definitely picked a relevant topic for a relevant audience today. Well, keep that in mind today as I talk about the importance of sleep and why you may want to consider taking a nap. A 2011 poll by the National Sleep Foundation found that 63% of Americans say their sleep needs are not being met during the week. 63%. So we need to adjust for that one in this room. 43% of Americans, based on the same poll information, claim that they don't get enough sleep on a regular basis, like rarely or never get enough sleep on a regular basis. 43% of adults. And of that group, that 43% group, 60% of that group say that they don't have, or they experience sleep problems on a regular basis. Sleep problems include snoring, waking up too soon, waking up in the middle of the night, or waking up feeling unrefreshed. Furthermore, the National Sleep Foundation states that most adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Are you getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night? No, I'm not either. And it's easy for most of us to forego that going to bed early or getting that additional sleep at night because we think, well, I'd like to spend a little bit more time with my family, or I want to stay up a little bit later and watch that episode on TV that I've been waiting to come on, my favorite show. And we think to ourselves, tomorrow I can reach for a cup of coffee, or I can grab a Coke, and I can catch up on my sleep over the weekend. Well, unfortunately, none of us ever seem to make up that sleep deficiency, myself included. So today I'm going to share with you the consequences of lack of sleep and why you may want to consider taking a nap at work. Lack of sleep impacts your safety. How important is your safety? Number one should be. Think about this. How many of you have had to get up especially early one morning, or have had to get up after a short night of sleep, maybe drive to a meeting at a different work location, or have a long drive for the beginning of a vacation, or even drive somewhere for a child's softball game or a sporting event? Happens quite a bit. The National Highway Traffic Safety Foundation finds that fatigue is linked to 100,000 auto crashes and 1,500 deaths each year. Fatigue, not getting enough sleep. Drowsy driving is just as dangerous as driving while intoxicated. What they find is that when you're driving drowsy, your reaction times are slowed down just as if you were intoxicated. So lack of sleep, unsafe. A lack of sleep impacts your health in many different ways, and we're going to talk about a few of those. Research by the Center for Disease Control, or CDC, finds that insufficient sleep is associated with chronic health conditions such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, depression, obesity, and the list goes on and on and on from what I have up here. Furthermore, lack of sleep or insufficient sleep is linked to the onset of these diseases, and lack of sleep contributes to the inability to control these diseases once you have them. Lack of sleep can lead to weight gain. If you don't have enough sleep at night, your body increases the hormones that stimulate your appetite and decrease the hormones that suppress your appetite. So your body works against you, and long-term lack of sleep then leads to weight gain because you have extra cravings for food and you tend to overeat. And I don't know about you gentlemen, but ladies, when I don't get enough sleep, I hate seeing the puffy eyes and the baggy skin under my eyes. My skin kind of starts to sag. Lack of sleep can permanently damage your skin. When we don't get enough sleep, our body has a stress reaction. And that stress reaction results in the extra production of the hormone cortisol. And the hormone cortisol causes your skin to lose its elasticity. So lack of sleep will damage your skin. So now you can understand what some of the consequences are of a lack of sleep. You understand that a lack of sleep is not only unsafe, but it's unhealthy. So now let's talk about getting enough sleep. Why should you take a nap? Sounds good, right? Well, have you ever sat at your desk in the afternoon battling that afternoon crash? Where you're sitting there thinking, if I could just reach for a Coke or reach for some more coffee, I could make it through the rest of the day, and then maybe I could take a nap at home, or I'll make it up later. You know, that same thought that we push ourselves through? Well, not only are those options unhealthy, but they're not effective solutions. They're a temporary solution to a bigger problem. Battle the crash instead by taking a nap. So let's talk about what's called a productive power nap, or a power nap. A Harvard research study tested volunteers over the course of a year, and the volunteers had to complete a series of 4 tests throughout a day, and they were split into 3 groups. The tests were intended to be visually and mentally draining or exhausting. And what they found was the group that they allowed to stop halfway through the day and take a 1-hour nap saw a significant increase in their productivity in the afternoon. The group that they allowed a half-an-hour nap in the middle of the day saw a slight increase in productivity, but no decrease in productivity. And the group of people who were not allowed any kind of a nap in the middle of the day saw a 50% decrease in productivity and attentiveness to the tasks at hand. So all of you sitting at your desks are seeing a decrease in productivity by the end of the day because you're not taking that nap and you're working tired. This is the reason that companies like Google, AOL, the Huffington Post, and Ben & Jerry's are all instituting sleep rooms or rejuvenation rooms in the workplace so that their employees can be more rested and more productive. Now, the ideal power nap is about 20 to 30 minutes long, and you should take that power nap between 1 and 3 p.m. You don't want to take it any later in the day because then it will impact your sleep that night, thus causing the constant cycle. So to sum up, the benefits of napping go beyond productivity. Enough sleep is safe, and getting enough sleep is more healthy for you. Now, I don't recommend that you curl up under your desk and you pull up a pillow and you take a nap without letting your boss know what's going on. Well, you probably shouldn't curl up under your desk anyways. However, you should take the time in the afternoon to get that power nap, whether you step out to your car, find a quiet place, but let your boss know what you're doing. We don't want you to lose your job over that power nap. Make sure if you can't get a nap at work that you do make sleep priority for all the reasons that I've discussed today. Be safe, be healthy, and take a nap. Thanks.